Bold bet. The future of energy policy is fragile. In January 2023, I found myself engaged in a nuanced debate about the energy provisions outlined in the Inflation Reduction Act, IRA, on the social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. A well-respected advocate and esteemed professor at Princeton University, Jesse Jenkins, asserted that the IRA was meticulously crafted for enduring political stability. I wasn't entirely convinced. Jenkins expressed such unwavering confidence in the IRA's longevity that he placed a bet with me, a bottle of scotch, on the assertion that no subsidies from the IRA would face repeal through legislation by 2025. He also lightheartedly implied that this wager encompassed the fate of U.S. climate mitigation efforts, which was likely a jest. The outcome of this bet wouldn't be determined until July 2025, coinciding with the anticipated repeal of various energy subsidies by the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, OBBBA. As someone who champions necessary reforms, I found joy in winning the bet and now proudly display the trophy on my office shelf. To his credit, Jenkins' original tweet about the bet remains online, and he graciously fulfilled his end of the wager by providing the Lagavulin 16. He exemplifies integrity, and our world could surely benefit from more individuals who are willing to make calculated predictions, put their money where their mouth is, and follow through on the agreements they make. We can learn valuable lessons from Jesse, just as we can from figures like Julian Simon and Paul Ehrlich. However, the crux of this policy discussion extends beyond scotch or playful wagers. It delves into the fundamental issue of why the IRA lacks long-term viability and the insights this offers for future federal energy policies. Quick wins come at a cost. The process of budget reconciliation allows the majority party to expedite the passage of spending and revenue legislation to the president's desk using simple majorities in both the House and Senate. This tool is particularly advantageous for one-party initiatives that might struggle to gather the 60 Senate votes necessary to overcome a filibuster. When a political party holds a trifecta, complete control over the presidency, House and Senate, they can enact laws with razor-thin margins, as was the scenario during the IRA's passage in 2022 and the subsequent OBBBA this year. While the reconciliation process offers promising shortcuts for advancing partisan goals, this expediency carries inherent risks. Such a method introduces a level of vulnerability that can lead to drastic policy shifts, especially when political majorities can quickly change, as we've seen in recent years. Thus, any policy measures passed through such means, heavily reliant on partisan support, are likely to experience rapid reversals or whiplash unless the party in favor maintains consistent control over several election cycles. The stakes of the bet I made reflected not merely policy concerns, but the political dynamics at play within the presidency, House, and Senate. The strategy behind the IRA appeared to employ a foot-in-the-door approach, proposing a gradual introduction of subsidies that would eventually swell into an overwhelming inflow. Imagine tens or even hundreds of billions of dollars annually with no defined expiration. Proponents of the IRA believed this would kickstart financial support, spark investments from companies, generate countless visible jobs, and foster robust political backing. Yet, this assumption proved to be flawed. Although those benefiting from the subsidies eventually formed a vocal lobbying group, they couldn't match the newfound opposition with their primary aim: to eliminate the IRA altogether. Durability is paramount in energy policy. Examining the circumstances surrounding the IRA's repeal highlights an essential lesson. Political sustainability is rarely achieved through mere spending. The history of enduring energy and environmental legislation indicates that true political longevity stems from forming broad coalitions. Legislation such as the Federal Power Act, the Clean Air Act, the Department of Energy Organization Act, and the Energy Policy Acts of 1992 and 2005, regardless of individual opinions, align more closely with the bipartisan ideal than either the IRA or OBBBA. Perhaps this is why such laws have maintained their relevance for decades. The practical challenge posed by unstable energy policies is that they create unpredictability for capital-intensive projects, like power plants, which require extensive planning. Consider the perspective of a private company contemplating $1 billion investment tied to regulatory frameworks that might shift from one year to the next. How much risk might political instability introduce into that decision? What additional costs do consumers bear for services like electricity as a result? Energy policy should rest on solid foundational principles. As a scholar at Cato, I advocate for individual freedoms, free market systems, minimal governmental intervention, and the promotion of peace. When government intervention is inevitable, particularly in the energy sector, it should adopt technology-neutral policies that resonate with broadly accepted objectives. Moreover, it should foster functioning markets rather than shaping them into tools for central planners. Policymakers must avoid constructing an energy landscape built on shifting sands, one that alters with each incoming presidential administration or legislative session. To conclude, a well-known saying resonates here. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. While I will enjoy the Lagavulin, the more significant takeaway is this. In the realm of energy policy, swiftness devoid of guiding principles or widespread consensus ultimately leads to stagnation. I applaud Jenkins for honoring our bet, and I am eager to participate in the upcoming discussions surrounding energy policy. Unfortunately, both major political parties continue to rely on rapid-fire methods like budget reconciliation and executive orders to enact legislation. But here is a silver lining. My bottle of Lagavulin serves as a testament that, occasionally, advocates for free market reforms can emerge victorious.